Jimmy ended poorly, and so did Shaq and Kobe, and Favre and the Packers, and Montana and the Niners. Jimmy and Jerry, is it a sad ending? No, it's an inevitable ending.
Welcome back. Mark Schler with Eric Davis here. Let's move to Canton, Ohio, where Jerry Jones inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame on Saturday and used his speech as an opportunity to make peace to Jimmy Johnson, who somehow isn't in the Hall of Fame yet. Here's Jerry on the Cowboys' former coach.
I wanted someone I knew. I wanted someone I knew well. I wanted someone that could get it done to be our coach. I wanted Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy, it was a great decision. You were a great teammate. You were a great partner. To the contrary of popular belief, we worked so well together for 5 years and restored the Cowboys' credibility with our fans. We were back to back. We were driven. We had thick skin. We took all the criticism they could dish out. I thank you.
Cowboys won more in 5 years with Jimmy than in more than 20 without him. And Jerry probably wouldn't be in the Hall if not for those Super Bowls. In fact, he wouldn't be. Whitlock, should Jimmy Johnson have made the Hall before Jerry Jones?
Yes, I think without question. And again, that's not a knock. I'm a big Jerry Jones fan. I'm not sure if Jerry Jones at this point should be in the Hall of Fame.
Without Jimmy, he wouldn't be.
He wouldn't be. But again, I'm not even sure he should be at this point. But listen, they came up with this logic or narrative on how you get into the Hall of Fame. I actually disagree with it, but it's their narrative that they've been working on. If you can't tell the story of the NFL without this person, he should be in the NFL. You can't tell the story of the NFL without Jimmy Johnson. And what he did, again, the greatest franchise, the most powerful franchise in all of sports. It is America's team. The guy replaced Tom Landry, made the franchise great again, won 2 Super Bowls. And then I would throw in, just as a football person, and I know it should have nothing to do with it, but what he did at the University of Miami just, to me, proves his eliteness as a head football coach. He belongs in the Hall of Fame, and he should have got there before Jerry.
13 coaches have 2+ Super Bowls, and only, I think, 6 are in the Hall of Fame. There's a Mike Shanahan and Tom Coughlin, and I think Jimmy's the best of all of them, and I have great regard for Shanahan and Coughlin. But I think he pulled off the best trade in league history. In fact, he changed the culture. We give Bill Walsh so many accolades because of the West Coast offense. People didn't trade in the NFL before Jimmy. They just didn't. You just didn't trade. Jimmy started trading. The Giants had done 2 trades in 10 years or something before Jimmy Johnson. He changed the culture. He was more aggressive. I look at him. Belichick didn't coach in college. Saban didn't hit in the NFL. I can make an argument that in football, you know how the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame, it's just basketball, period. Yeah. In the Football Hall of Fame, Jimmy's arguably the greatest coach ever. Succeeded college. He's 4 for 4. He won everywhere. He won at Oklahoma State.
But it is the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's not the College Football Hall of Fame. So I will say this. 9 years that he coached, 2 Super Bowl championships. What he did in Dallas was unbelievable. And I think that trade that you're talking about actually hurts him to some degree. And here's why. Right. Here's why. They were so flippin' talented. Like, I walked in, I'll never forget this. 1994, I'm a member of the Washington Redskins. And I'm out early because I'm short snapping. I'm a backup short snapper. So I'm watching their offense warm up. And I believe it went something like this. Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper, Mark Tuinei, Nate Newton, Mark Stepnowski, maybe it was Gogan, Eric Williams, Moose Johnson in the backfield, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and Jay Novacek at tight end. I'm watching them, and I started doing the math in my head. Started assessing their team. I go, I don't think we have one guy on the Washington Redskins that could start for this team. We're going to get our ass kicked tonight. And they kicked our ass. And so I think they were so talented. It's almost that they were so talented that, hey, Barry Switzer won a championship with that team. And I think that hurts him because ultimately he's the guy that built that team that was so talented.
So they beat Buffalo in a Super Bowl like a college route, like Alabama beat Notre Dame. I mean, they humiliated other NFL teams.
Well, you just said the talent-based, it hurts him in some aspects, Jimmy Johnson, that is, because I think that's the same thing that George Seifert deals with. because he took over a team, and everyone always talks about. I mean, he won 2 Super Bowls, in his 8 years coaching the 49ers. But everyone views it that that was so talented. It was such a talented squad that he didn't have to do any work, and that's not the case for Jimmy either. Is Jimmy a Hall of Famer? I think so. Yes, but do I have a problem with Jerry Jones being it? No. Because you look at you talk about the history of the league. Well, Jimmy it's a big deal Jerry. It's a big deal with Jerry. You look at the TV deal when he brought Fox Network in. It changed things. You look at the revenue. It's the biggest sport. You say it all the time. It's the biggest sport on 5 different networks. You look at the money that they are bringing in with this TV deal, how it has affected the players, how it affected the owners' pockets, how the revenue keeps going up. That's Jerry.
Right.
That's Jerry.
He's
Jerry he came into the game. This guy put a Nike swoosh on the Texas Stadium when it wasn't supposed to be done.
I see Jerry and Jimmy. I mean, seriously, I just see them conjoined. Like they are. To me, I just think of one and the other. Like it's impossible to me. It's almost like.
But that's why I'm saying they're both. You can't tell the story of the league without both of these guys. They're a part of it.
From a marketing and a money standpoint, I 100% agree with you on Jerry Jones. And it used to drive me crazy because you were there too. You go to Dallas, the stadium there, Texas Stadium, you'd be sitting between every play. Come join us on the concourse for TCBY yogurt, the official yogurt of the Dallas Cowboys. And you'd be like, would you guys shut up so I can concentrate on what we need to do here to try to win a game? I mean, it was the marketing of the Dallas Cowboys. He led the way for this league to be as profitable financially as it is now.
He did it with his team first, and then he took over for the rest of the owners, and he's done it. And that's why that contribution, I think, is what put him in there.
I love Jerry Jones. No problem with him being in the Hall of Fame. I think he gets some credit for the foundation Pete Rozelle laid. He made it the great television product that it is. Mm-hmm. Everybody's just been building off that blueprint. Again, I go back to, it's not a coincidence, because that story you just told about the Cowboys and how talented they were. I guarantee you there's some college coach or former college player telling the same story about the Miami Hurricanes teams that Jimmy threw out there. Everywhere he was, great talent showed up and reached its full potential despite whatever they had going on in their personal lives. Jimmy Johnson, a tremendous head coach, belongs in the Hall of Fame. All right, coming up, LeBron just fired back at all his haters, and I'll tell you why his thin skin